crank it up. And crank it up for our next guest coming up here. Going to tell you some funny things. He's ready to go. Julio Ugly, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, there we go. I feel so Fat Albert right now. Nice. Thank you very much. Hey, keep it going for what we have of the Dark Tide Bandits. And how about the way Q can drink a beer? How about it? Come on. Speaking of drinking beer, don't forget to take care of Cameron back here. He's pouring some New Belgium for somebody. It's good stuff. I've got some myself. I am Julio Ugly. I'm not sure how I got this spot. It's got nothing to do with doing the host's mom, I'm sure. But you know, the last time I did a show, there were some complaints about too many dick jokes. Okay, we're right. First off, what? B, is my head tapered? Do I smell bad? Does your ass hurt? Because you have got to be shitting me. If you look in a dictionary at comedy show, there's a picture of a dick joke there. I mean, for Pete's sakes, you know, we're just here doing a little comedy. I don't think anybody has to worry about the number of dick jokes. And in truth, you know, I'm kind of a big-time comic anymore. I don't even write my own shit. You know, I got a staff, they write it, goes through my head writer, I learn it by rote, and I puke it back out to you. For instance, this bit right now I'm kind of going through my file of facts, thinking about my bills I got to pay. I'm just puking out this bit. I don't even know what it's about. But that said, my head writer's out here someplace, so gonna have to cut back to the dick jokes, Mom. You got that? Okay. But finally, you know, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. Now, could that be more of a bullshit apology? I always love, like an NBA player at the end of a game says, yeah, all those referees are dick-smoking Nazi queers. What? And of course, you know, within a day, his manager's gotten a hold of him, or his agent, and then he comes out with this bullshit, well, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. Okay, who the fuck didn't you offend with that comment? Okay, let's start with the referees. First off, probably not all dick smokers. Maybe a few, but those that aren't, they're offended, so there's some referees that are offended. Secondly, they're probably not all Nazis. I'm guessing anyway. And finally, they're not all queers, although dick smokers and the queers, that might be one subset, but not all together. And let's take a look at, how about dick smokers? They're sitting there going, hey, we're not all referees over here, you know. You know, we've got a job. We've got some dicks to smoke. And, you know, as dick smokers, we're certainly not all Nazis. Because, you know, you really don't want a Nazi dick smoker. Get that over here now. I've been working. When I'm done. When you're done, it's too bad. You know, so you don't want to be a Nazi dick smoker, so they're certainly not all Nazis. And they're probably not all queer. Well, 6 of one, half dozen the other. Now, the Nazis, they could be offended because they're certainly not all referees. Now, they would make awesome referees. You will not travel in my area. On the other hand, Nazis would probably prefer to referee in the NHL as opposed to the NBA. 2, 3, 4. A little white supremacist joke, anybody? No? Okay. And of course, Nazis, you know, I think not all Nazis are dick smokers, although to be fair, I think if you call any Nazi a dick smoker, you can probably get away with it. I think we'd all be happy with that. And not all Nazis are queers, although I'm sure there are some closeted Nazi gays. However, don't all care to be all be called queers. And finally, queers. Well, that to begin with, that's a pejorative, right? I mean, I'm using it, it's making me cringe, just for the purpose of this joke. It's my writers again. Thanks, Mom. But, you know, they're the gays. So, queer itself is pejorative. And they probably aren't all referees, the gays. I mean, I don't even think they make that good of a referee, to tell you the truth. It's like, your pants are a little low, but I don't know the rules to this game, you know, that kind of thing. And we've already established it's unlikely they're Nazis. It'd be kind of hard to join that organization. They may well or may not be dick smokers, but that's certainly their choice. So, given all that, that's a bullshit apology. And really, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. But enough with the dick jokes. So, a priest, a rabbi, and a dick walk into a bar. No, I'm kidding. And in real life, I'm an air traffic controller. I think some of you know that. It's been a pretty good career. I kind of enjoy it. Got any other air traffic controllers here in the audience? And we got a supervisor. That doesn't count. Any real air traffic control? No, I'm kidding. Here is one of my buddies was nice enough to come to watch me stand up here and make a knucklehead out of myself. But you know, air traffic control, it isn't all napping, and it isn't all water ski 91 maintained 3,100 tall steps on local cleared ISLA 13 to the Joplin Airport. Radar service terminated. Contact Joplin Tower 119.8. It isn't all that either. There's a lot of downtime. You're sitting around with your buddies and you're making up little songs and stuff like that. And one of the airplanes we've got is Air Canada. Well, over time, as Air Canada comes on, you know, one guy turned to the other off the mic and go, Air Canada. And then pretty soon it became, Air Canada, you gravy-sucking pigs. And sadly, that ultimately morphed into, you know, a complete denigration of the Canadian national anthem. We'd all be singing, Oh, Canada, you gravy-sucking pigs. Well, I got a buddy who will go home and sing those songs around the house as he's messing around the house, and his kids, rather impressionable, 5, 6, 7 years old, you know, hear it. And they're you know, oh, Dad, that's funny, ha. Well, his 7-year-old was in 2nd grade, and they just got done with a section in social studies about our friends to the south of Mexico. You know, serapes, the end of the week, they busted open a piñata, yay. Well, the next week, it's Canada, our friends to the north. Well, everything's going along fine. They're learning about, you know, the Hudson Bay and all that stuff. About the 2nd day, the teacher says, you know, kids, I know you all know our national anthem, but you know, Canada's got a pretty famous national anthem. Oh, said my friend's son. Oh, pick me. So, of course, you know, he's all, oh, Canada, you gravy-sucking pig. You know, and my friend gets a note home, says, you know, Dear Mr. Moose, please inform your son that the good people of Canada are neither pigs nor gravy-sucking. So, you have kids now, you're having kids in the future, just be careful about singing Oh Canada songs around them, because they'll fuck it up for everybody. I got another buddy at work. He's my age, 50, 55. And he's recently divorced. And it's tough, you know, he's out there on the dating scene, going to the bars and things like that. You can imagine, you know, some guy's been married for 20-odd years, it's kind of tough for him, but he started getting a few dates, and he tells me one day, he says, hey, you know what, Julio? I'm a playa. And I'm going, no. And of course, as he's saying, hey, Julio, I'm a playa, I'm hearing, hey, Julio, I'm a douchebag. I mean, really, it's kind of, and this is a direct theft from Jeff Foxworthy, but, you know, if you're a 50-some-year-old white guy and you say, I'm a playa, you might be a douchebag. If you come in here and throw your Ford Focus keys with the Porsche keyring on the bar, you might be a douchebag. If you've got a nozzle coming out of your head and you're spring fresh all the time, you might be a douchebag. And finally, if you've got more than 0 Ed Hardy shirts in your closet, you might be a douchebag. Anyway, enough of that. You know, I'm afraid I didn't come with a ton of material, but I did come with a joke for you to take home with you tonight. It's a little participatory kind of a joke, and it's also one that has an alternate ending, so I think you'll appreciate this. It's easy. What's a pirate's favorite letter? R. Ah, you'd think so, but they loves the sea. Ah. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
C.
Ah, you'd think so, but they're all fucking illiterate. Hey, you know what? That's my time. Thank you very much for coming out. Take care of Cameron.